In this video, I'll be talking about 5 hacks that PrizePicks don't want you to know that can help you make money more consistently. Whether you're new to PrizePicks or a seasoned bettor, these hacks will help you maximize profits and save you a lot of time. Hack number 1, do not bet whole numbers. On PrizePicks, sometimes you will see whole numbers. For example, 8 rebounds, more or less, or 20 points, more or less. You do not want to bet more or less on these props specifically, because on these props, it has been moved to that whole number from a half number. You don't want to bet these props because they've been moved to this whole number from a 0.5. For example, 20 points on PrizePicks. That means the original line was 19.5 points or 20.5 points. So the fact that it's at 20 points exactly now removes value from whether it was at 19.5 or 20.5, depending on if you're taking the more or the less, and this can put you in a disadvantage. When it is on a whole number, the chances of them actually getting this exact number are increased. And if they hit this exact number, this is called a push. When a prop pushes on PrizePicks, it's pretty much like the prop never even happened. You don't win money from it. You don't necessarily lose money from it unless you had it in a parlay and the overall parlay ended up losing. Now, when I consulted with some of my supporters who were doing this before I started coaching them up, they told me it just feels safer to do it. There's trade-offs in sports betting, so anything that feels safer is probably not at your advantage. This is one of the first hacks I want to share with you because it's simple, but it's incredibly effective for profiting and making money. You don't want to be pushing lines on PrizePicks. You either want to win or you want to lose. And obviously, we want to win a lot more than we want to lose. Whole numbers are simply just a trap to catch the unknowledgeable bettor making bad decisions and taking away the value on props that they should possibly win if they would have caught it when it was a 0.5 instead of a whole number. Usually when the props come out for that slate, they're all 0.5s. But as time goes on throughout the day, PrizePicks starts slowly removing the value and edges on some of these props because a lot of people are playing them in that way, and then they slowly transition to whole number. Now, this doesn't happen with all props, but I'm sure you've seen this happen with many props on PrizePicks before in the past, and that's why you see so many whole numbers on the board come game time. Hack number 2, and this one is so overlooked, I don't understand how it is. You need to find out what the odds of that prop is before you play it, which means line shopping. If you don't know what line shopping is, to simply break it down, it's going to other sports books who have the lines visually available on their platform so you can see the odds associated with these lines. One of the unique characteristics about PrizePicks is that PrizePicks do not tell you what the odds of that prop are. They just tell you the number of the prop, and they tell you, hey, you could take over or you can take less, but they don't tell you it's a minus 120 odd prop or it's a plus 110 odd prop. Minus props are better and more favorable for you to win. Now, when you understand the true real value of a prop, then you can exploit PrizePicks and play those instead of props that may not have favorable value in comparison to other sports books. The sports books kind of give you an answer in a way. Think about it. These are billion-dollar sports books, and they saying this prop is minus 125. But on PrizePicks, it doesn't have anything about what it is. It just has the prop. For hack number 3, only play props on PrizePicks that are valued at minus 120 odds or lower. This alone will jump your win rate up to at least 54% on PrizePicks individual props. Now, when you parlay what you have to on PrizePicks, it changes the dynamics of this math. But for individual lines, to get them right on PrizePicks, minus 120 odds or shorter will win at 54% or more. Now, I'll take it a step further. If you are line shopping and you see a prop that you're going to play regardless, and it's minus 118 or shorter elsewhere than PrizePicks, then you should play it elsewhere. Every single prop on PrizePicks is valued at minus 119. So they don't show you the odds on PrizePicks. They have consensus odds for all their props at minus 119 odds. So if you see better odds than that on a FanDuel or DraftKings, then go play the prop over there instead so you can make more money if it wins. And better odds would be minus 118 or shorter. So minus 118, for example, minus 110, minus 105, or anything in the pluses. Now, when you go to the pluses, this means it's not as favorable to hit, but if you're going to play it regardless, then get your most money for it. Hack number 4 is correlation plays. On PrizePicks, you have to do parlays, right? You have to do at least 2 picks together or more up to a total of 6. Well, one of the ways that you can increase your chances of winning is by taking correlation plays in your parlay. Now, there's a lot of different forms of correlation plays, but since it's basketball season, let's talk about a basketball version of a correlation play. For example, you could take a point guard over their assist line, then you could take their teammate who gets the ball a lot from them over their points line, because the point guard is going to be passing the ball to this person and this person going to make the shots if you think that's what's going to happen. These two things are correlated. And it could work the other way in terms of if you don't think the point guard is going to get a lot of assists, then you could take the shooting guard, which maybe depends on the point guard for their shot as they can't create by themselves, under their points line as well, as those two events are correlated. Now, don't confuse correlation with combo. As we just stated, for correlation, it's 2 separate players which are doing things that depend on each other. Combo is 1 player in which their stats are combined together. For example, rebounds plus assists for 1 specific player. For hack number 5, you need to wait until the injury reports come out. I cannot tell you how many times I saw a great play that I really liked. It seemed too good to be true, and it was because the player was questionable, and then they eventually got ruled out, which I wasted a slip. I wasted a pair, because you have to pair for parlaying on PrizePicks, and it messed me up. So be up to date with the injury reports, who's questionable, who's probable, who's doubtful, who's out, and keep up with how this changes throughout the day. Around mid-afternoon is when you're going to get most of your major updates, a couple hours before game times. And an injury can drastically change the dynamic of a game. Every single person's line on that team and the opposing team can be shifted by a major injury or by a key player getting ruled out. Now, there's downsides to waiting until the injury report comes out. Some of the downsides are, like we talked about earlier, a lot of those lines can get moved to whole numbers and you're losing out on value because you're waiting, and a lot of people have already played their props. But at least you aren't messed up in terms of your plays because you didn't know whether this player was playing or not, and you waited until that come out. So I see some people that go early, they'll just take the risk, and if anything, a player gets ruled out, sometimes PrizePicks, sometimes will refund your money if that player's in your slip. Other times it's just based on the other legs that's associated in that parlay and whether they win or lose. If you found these tips valuable, man, it's your boy JT. I'm the best player prop expert in the world. Subscribe, like, share the video. Leave a comment on what type of videos you want me to do next, and I'll make sure I get to those. And if you want access to all my plays, click the link in bio. I have weekly packages through my WAP or monthly packages through my Patreon to help you make money. Let's score.